Hello everybody. Today we're going to be playing Megabonk. I have to buy the weapon Aura. We are going to start off by unlocking Mega Chad, Giga Chad, what was it? Mega Chad, alright. So, I thought for today, the stage 2 clear, we would do Mega Chad. Should we unlock anything else? Quantity Tome, not going to be super useful for this very moment. And this is stuff I could do off Ooh. Not enough silver. That could be doing off camera, and eventually I will, but just for the beginning I thought it'd be fun to do it this way. So we'll go ahead and get started, set it to tier 2, and let's see if we can beat it first try. Guys, I absolutely love recording the last video, and I'm hoping I enjoy recording this one as well. Currently my game FPS is set to 60. Let us fix that, shall we? Also, some of my settings might be weird. I don't know. Yeah, admittedly, I have no clue. I do know that the game settings seem to stay the same, basically, depending on whether I'm playing on like my account or this account, because I changed the FPS to 60 because I play on the like Logitech handheld, which is a 60 Hz screen. I like it being synced up. So it's crazy to me that it keeps those settings. So I guess that's why like I'd have to do too much setting configuration whenever I started. Also, man, I wish we just had the normal Megabonk song. I always pick the first song it shows at the beginning. We probably should take Size, right? Size Tome for Aura is just going to be absolutely amazing. Aura can scale with 3 main things. Can it scale with crit? I don't know if it can scale. I think it should be able to. It definitely scales with damage, and it scales with... I shouldn't have grabbed that, probably. It scales with attack speed. That was going to be the other thing I said. So... scales damage, scales with attack speed, scales with size. I mean, surely it can crit. I think that, like, it's not considered a dot per se, so it should be able to crit. And the reason I say this is because in a lot of games, dots can't crit. Like, I don't think Poison can crit in this game. Who knows? It might be able to. Let's actually look around what we're doing on the map. We have a golden chest I just happily walked by. Let us see what we get. Ooh, blue item, unstable transfusion. This item's pretty good. It basically adds an execute threshold to the enemies. So whenever we are up against a boss, you will see their health turn darker at the end. It's kind of the opposite of poison, where poison adds it to like where you're hitting on the health bar, basically. Like if you're hitting the health bar and it's going down, like pretend that's where you're hitting. The opposite end of it that you need to get to is where unstable transfusion pops up. I know a lot of people thought it was really good whenever the game came out. It's not like bannable or anything. I think it's unlocked by default, but I don't think it makes like a massive DPS difference. I could be wrong. I don't know the exact numbers on it. So we have a choice between flat damage or 11% attack speed. So if we think about this, right, 11%, what's the difference from 7 to 9? It's probably closer to like 25%, if not more, right? So probably this one, except this one would affect 2 weapons. I won't be going this in depth for all of them. This is a interesting one. I'd say this one's probably better, and that's because, not even necessarily the percentages, but because different aura upgrades will offer different things, and that one had a double upgrade. Meanwhile, you know, in the future we could get one that is just a single upgrade. Easy peasy, let's keep it going. Well, we need to figure out our second weapon. I've kind of been loving the chunkers, and chunkers do give us just a lot of AoE, but there is an argument to be made that, well, I was gonna say, do we want something projectile based so that we can like more easily hit things from further away? But we have, I shouldn't have necessarily pressed that, that's okay. But we already have the Size Tome, and a lot of projectiles don't scale amazing with size. Obviously some do, but not all of them. I can't remember, did Chunk, I'm not looking at it, I can't say I don't remember, or I don't even know the thing. I can't remember if chunkers scale with attack speed or not. So you'll have to forgive me there. We'll get our shield because shield just feels amazing. Now we don't have like the easy scaling with these weapons that we did in like the last runs where we were able to take just extra projectiles. Projectiles does affect the chunkers, but it will not affect aura, so we'll kind of have to weigh its worth whenever we actually get to that. I do also wonder if I should start activating difficulty. Also, different mob types are in this game. Sorry, I lost what I was trying to say. I'm going so nerdy. I need to get to the point, because we got a point with COD Zombies, but like where I was constantly explaining everything to not having to so much. In fact, I had to start making jokes like, and you know, fun fact guys, on round 4 it's also 3 knives, you know. So we'll get there eventually. But for right now, I do just want to make sure everyone kind of has a general baseline understanding of what we're doing, why we're doing it. I've gotten my wife to start playing Megabonk, which has been very, very fun. She's enjoying it. I love this game, man. I hope that it actually is able to stick around for a long time. The dev seems really cool. If you don't know, the dev for this, I think it's basically been like revealed who it is, but he's made games in the past to a bit of success. And so he wasn't like eligible for a first time award or something like that. But hopefully, because he's had experience with other games before, that, you know, things end up going well and everything keeps going. The one thing that I want to say like worries me, but I know, how do I put this? He's shown weakness. In like some of the patch notes, he's like, yeah, we'll make this change. People don't like it, we'll change it back. And in my head, whenever I see that, I'm immediately like, oh, you're gonna have some very vocal people about like changing things, because now they know, they'll think you'll fold, right? Whenever a dev shows weakness, all of a sudden, you know, you give a mouse a cookie, he'll want a glass of milk. But also, I mean, it is a good mindset. If it doesn't work, we'll change it. But I feel like, and to a sense, that might need to be implied rather than, you know, vocalized. I get so worried because I've seen communities run games before, and man, I feel like it's so bad so much of the time. I think of the quote, and it's like, players are really good about knowing they don't like something, and they're really bad at understanding why they don't like it. And I can't remember who said that, but regardless of who said that, I do think it's a pretty good and somewhat accurate quote. Also, with these weapons, we should, keyword should, be just fine in swarms. In fact, swarms should be a major point of experience. I really think we should start gathering difficulty, because we aren't just needing to beat stage 1, right? Like, we are needing to probably take the 5 damage. We are needing to get to stage 2, and I'd say like sometimes beat stage 2, a little bit of scaling isn't bad. Now you might think, what does difficulty mean in terms of scaling? Well, it's pretty simple. It gives you 5% more enemies. Those enemies are 5% tougher. They're 5% tougher, they're 5% faster, and you can think of tougher as they take they have 5% more health and deal 5% more damage, but focus on the more part. You have more enemies. What enemies give you? Gold and XP, so the more enemies you have, the more gold and XP you gain. You can think of that as a different bucket if you're familiar with the system of what buckets are, right? And buckets are different ways of scaling your damage that are multiplicative with each other. So one of the examples I gave was, and for this game it's not necessarily always the best example because there's a cap on it, but you know, if you have 6 total stats, let's say, you can take 6 projectiles, you can take, we'll say, times 6 attack speed, and each of those individually are like times 6 damage increases if, you know, you start with 1 projectile, right? Assuming just a standard baseline. But if you split it 3 and 3, well, now it's no longer additive. It's not 3 plus 3, it's 3 times 3. You're shooting 3 times as many projectiles, 3 times as fast, and that ends up being 9 times per second, or whatever you're attacking, rather than just the 6 or the 6. So different buckets are good. So if you have more mobs and then you also scale things individually like XP or gold, you are going to be able to get multiplicatively more XP and gold. So difficulty is a really important stat. Plus, if you're going for leaderboard runs, you need to be able to kill things, right? One of the bad habits I have built up whenever I think about these like shorter runs is I'm really bad about grabbing early chests. You know, whenever I play, I usually save chests until I get a good bit of keys or until I start getting, you know, credit cards and stuff like that. And a good question to ask yourself sometimes is, well, how are you going to get those items that opening chests? And that can be a little difficult, which is why you can't prioritize things like the Mauis. I need to make sure I say that the right way. The Maois. And you can see in the bottom right hand side of the screen, we do have like a measure of how many things we have left on that. So if I grab this, it's going to go to 3 out of 4 magnet shrines, which is great. We unlock the attraction tome. So much nerd stuff. When can we just play the game and brother? But yeah, blah blah blah, who cares? So I think that's probably enough for right now. What I'm going to do is actually take a look behind. So the reason I take a look behind me is because I did this right before I started recording, because I was like, you know, obviously, you know, I go play with my dogs outside and stuff, but if I have the TV off and I'm on my computer inside, like, sure, they can play with each other and they play with the cat. The cat freaking loves them, man. It's crazy. But I'm like, maybe they get bored. Maybe they want entertainment. They have toys and everything, right? But, you know, I was like, I wonder if I can just put a video up on the TV. So I looked up videos for dogs, and it has these ducks going around, and one of my dogs is just like obsessed with it now. So I wanted to turn around and see if she's just staring at it. She is. She's just laying down staring at it. And in a sense, I feel this shame. Like, oh, my dog is an iPad child now. My cat was one. Whenever my cat was a little kitten, you know, on our phone and we have an iPad, I had like this little mouse game where it could swipe at it. And for the longest time, every time we were on a device, he'd come over and try to see if he could play on it. It was crazy. Now my dog's just staring at the TV and it's like, maybe I failed as a pet parent here. Maybe I shouldn't be on the computer. Maybe the correct thing to do would just be, I don't know, you can't give every moment, right? Like, obviously you should spend time with it. It's okay to, you can do your own things still. But I just thought it was funny. I was like, I wonder if there's pet videos for dogs or videos for dogs. And it's just these ducks. What is on this screen? It's 2 ducks. It looks like a mallard, which I don't know my ducks that well, but I think it's the green one. And then there's another, and I don't know what the other one was. It was like a kind of speckled gray, black and brown head one. I don't know. Proj count, attack speed, size. It kind of feels like, honestly, I'm at a point where I would just take whatever is highest rarity. I'd love to get some silver. I have silver pots enabled, right? Should I check that? I probably should check that. Give me a moment, I'm thinking. Probably you. I don't know if that was the right choice. I don't. I'd love a mod that just like gives you your estimated DPS increase on the side. It's possible. You can calc it. Like, there's no reason a mod wouldn't be able to unless it was like somewhere in the TOS, or maybe that would just ruin the fun of the game for some people. But it should be very possible to calculate like the expected damage per second of any given upgrade. Like, this should be like 9% more damage. And once you get over 100, it starts to get a little different because, so it's like, how do you calculate it? Because it is, no matter what, always 9% damage. But if you have, 900 attack speed, well, you're still getting 9% damage, but you're not getting 9% damage. I gotta figure out better ways to explain these concepts because it's like you already have so much of it. You're not. It's like you're getting 50 damage, but that 50 damage that you're getting, that flat damage that you're getting, that you'll get every time, that every attack speed is worth, is a lower percentage of your total damage. Does that make sense? We just destroyed that guy. Let's hope we can just as easily destroy the main boss. I probably should start pathing that way. We'll grab a little bit of difficulty. It will take you. Oh yeah, I was gonna check. Do I have silver things on? Because I probably should. Enable silver pots. Ooh, okay. Anything else we need to enable with silver? Because I know that it's also can be removed from like the Chaos Tome, right? Do you also remove from Chaos Tome, or has it just been fully removed from Chaos Tome? Probably just fully removed from Chaos Tome, right? Man, we're gonna have to do some of those unlocks eventually, aren't we? Ooh, that's gonna be a fun time. It took me a long time to unlock the Chaos Tome, man. I honestly feel like shame for how hard it. Now, admittedly, we didn't even have a we had the mini map, but we didn't even have like a full map back then, much less a way to track it. So I didn't even know how many there were on the map. So I just kind of run around and hope I got there. There's one time like because you have to get all of them and beat the do you have to beat the stage 3 boss, or do you just have to get all of them? I can't remember. But like I thought I had them all. And turns out I missed one, and that was a really crappy feeling. Now, of course, once you get to that point, it's not too hard, to keep it going. It's why a lot of times, not a lot of time, but a decent bit of speed, not a decent, it's happened. It has happened in like world record runs where once a player gets a world record, they keep playing, and then they just get another world record really quickly because like they're at that level of skill now, and a lot of building up skill is getting to that point. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. Let's go ahead and spawn the boss. Little Bark. Probably just take the flat damage. Oh, his health is not going down as quickly as I maybe would have liked. Maybe it's because we're not, using the chunker. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's also not good. Size is not going to help for bosses, right? So we should have maybe like reconsidered the size. Also, we are rather slow. Also, our jump height is also our jump height isn't the highest. Attack speed is good because we're unlikely to reach the cap, so it's an effective stat. Well, I don't know if it is effective because I don't know if the chunkers like really scale with it. We might just have horrible synergy right now. Do we have flame steps unlocked by default? I probably should have gone like flame steps, right? Although flame steps are so bad until you get them like scaled up. Like, oh, dude, I was doing some practice challenge runs for whenever we eventually get there, and I was using the mines for it. Dude, the mines are just miserable. I had such a hard time justifying using those things. We're gonna stay here for a minute and try to get as much XP and stuff as we can before we move on to the next stage. We should open chests, by the way. It is rather foolish of me to not be opening chests, or I should in general explore the map more. But I will say, it's a lot harder for me to explore the map while I'm also talking. I didn't expect the talking to take so much of my mental attention. So, you know, we can say I'm horrendous at this game, which is probably a fair criticism. But also, the mind is horrendous because I can't focus, and it happens all the time even when I play alone. Though I can't cope and say it's because I'm recording. I'd be like, oh, I need to go explore the map, and then I'll see it's like 2 minutes left, and I've just stayed in the one corner just walking in a circle. And it's just embarrassing, frankly. I don't have many ways to scale luck, man. I'd really love luck, but I also need percent damage. But we're about to open so many chests, I just feel like luck has to be worth it, right? Because we do need to open chests. What else have we got on our bar? We have... What is that key? Oh, for the monkey unlock, I think. What are our greens? We've got evasion, charge shine, the damage, health. I mean, we got the luck one. We might as well. We don't have like other ways of scaling luck. I don't think we have cursed stall unlocked or the key unlocked. So since we don't have either of those, luck probably would be the next thing. I've not gotten an have we gotten XP ones before? I don't know if XP ones are unlocked by default. And luck again. And we'll go on a bit of a chest opening spree. I hit my mic there. Sorry if you heard that. And we'll see what we get. Hopefully we get some good stuff. By default, like a lot of default unlocks are not bad by any means. This item's really good with Kevin, and I mean even without Kevin it's okay, but I'd say it's one of the items that Kevin really likes. Obviously the main things you want with Kevin, if you don't know, Kevin has a 25% chance whenever you deal damage to deal damage back to you, which you might think is horrible, but there are items that give effects, and if you get enough life steal or even health regen, although I don't think health regen is that useful in this game, I can't banish it, so I suppose we will take it. If you get enough health regen or life, so you can kind of negate the effect of the downside, and you just get a lot of procs on stuff, and it's nice. It's a good item. It's a little risky to get it early. It will probably kill you if you get it early, if we're being honest with ourselves, but it's a good item. It is, and I really like the perma movement speed that this particular synergy gives. If I had Kevin right now, although if I had Kevin right now, I'd probably die because. I mean, I guess, what is our, Sir Oofy gets armor. What do we get every level? Do we get anything? Surely we get something. I know our passive is like it's basically like the mirror, right? Where you can deflect damage. I don't know if they take damage for it, but you can avoid taking damage once every so often. The flex there is what it's called. I think it's probably mechanically the same as the mirror, just has flex instead of reflect. I don't think this is bad. This is basically a defensive layer on this guy because all of our damage is around us, so it helps kind of. It shouldn't push them out of our range, but it should keep them away from just being able to easily hit me. And this is one of those things where if we had the genie lamp, that we would be able to activate it even more often, because rather than rolling, it's what, 8 out of 100. So let's say you have a 100-sided die. If you roll 8 or under, you would get the effect. Now you roll 2, so you have double the amount of chances. So it's 16. Out of 200, well, 16 out of 200 would be it's the same percent, you just get a chance to do it again. But 250%. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. If I flip a coin, and that coin can land heads or tails, right? That's an independent variable. If I flip 2 coins, I have 250% chances. These are independent of themselves, but I get 2 chances. How does that 2 chances work statistically? It's very simple. I know how the math works. I just can't remember how it works. I get 250% chances. Yeah, I know it's like 75%, right? Because, it should, no, is it 67.5? Oh, 250%. How does that work? Is this? No, it's not. It's not that you're increasing the odds from 50%. It's that you're getting double the amount of tries to do it. I can't remember. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, okay? I'm only human. I can't. Also, our boss damage is so bad. We are absolutely not beating this run, but it might go long enough where we don't have time for another. So I don't know. Oh, it's so bad, dude. The damage is so bad. We probably just shouldn't even try to be damage him and just go spam open like, what, 3 more chests is all we can do if even? Muy vey. Alright, open it up. My brain's still, by the way, going on the coin thing. I know that if you flip 2 coins, your odds of getting one of them heads, like, you just find a luck tome? Oh, we died. How does this work? Hold up. A man needs to think. If I need to get tails, I have a 50% chance. But if I'm lucky, I get to do that twice. I get 2 chances. I'm not reducing or changing the 50% odd, but instead I'm getting 2 attempts of it. Is it just... I don't... It's frustrating me, frankly. It's not... Should we test this? Should I get a coin and flip it like 2 times over and over? Because, like, if I add them together, it's 2 heads and 2 tails possibility, right? Which is still 50%. And yet, I know lucky gives you an advantage. I know lucky gives you... It's called advantage, for Christ's sake. There's something here. Alright, let's unlock some stuff. How much? We have 23. I mean, Luck Tome is really good. We probably want Luck Tome. Have I unlocked the shop proper yet? No. We should probably just try to do a run to beat it, right? Just beat it, dun, dun, just beat it. Alright. Who would just be good? I mean, it's the Fox, right? Just... We'll do another quick run as the Fox. And we'll do a quick run. If I can't beat it, hey, I deserve it probably. Okay, I did start around as a Fox, but my brain like turned off halfway through, which I know, believe it or not, we've been talking about the coin thing. So it might seem like my brain was never on, but it is. I'm alert, I'm aware I am here. And I figured out the coin thing. By figured out, I mean I Googled it. And the answer is very simple. You can basically map out your probabilities. I need to look up what the actual like formula would be, because that's what I wish I knew off the top, was how to do it via formula. This is risky, but I kind of want it. And it's basically, you can map it out by thinking, you know, you have the possibility of heads or tails. We'll say H or T if you flip 1. If I only need to get heads, and I can flip 2 coins at once, well, my total possibilities are they can both land on heads, or they can both land on tails, or 1 can land on heads, 1 on tails, and 1 can land on tails, 1 on heads. So, out of 4 potential possibilities, 3 out of 4 of them include a head. So 75% chance, which is basically 1.5 times. It's probably an easy way to think of it is lucky gives 1.5 times for a 50-50. Well, it should be in general. If you have a 4 out of 20% chance for something to happen, you get to roll twice. That should go up to a 6 out of 20% chance, right? I wish I had the numbers in front of me. I've genuinely been thinking about like going more into statistics and like potentially taking an online course for statistics or something, because I've been loving statistics and loving numbers. And obviously this is like baby level statistics. I've taken statistics in college. I passed, believe it or not. These are horrible. Oh man, what stinkers. Oh, what stinkers we've got here. I didn't realize I took crit chance tome at some point. Ooh. Probably bow. I mean, it's a weapon. I'm not taking either of these. I really have no ambition nor desire to take either of those. So I guess we've got the bow. Would love to not have the bow, to be honest with you. Not a very good weapon. These enemies, by the way, are so annoying. I meant to mention it earlier. I think I completely forgot. Different enemy types of different things. These green and black ones explode if you get near them. So if I just walk up to one, I can... And they hurt. They hurt. It doesn't feel great. Not a great feeling. We also have increased difficulty, of course, so... There are more of them. They are faster. They deal more damage. All the good stuff you would hope and expect to see. We are not doing amazing at the start of this run. Let us see. What would we like? Probably just the increased damage. I need to figure out if Charge Shrine is actually any good. What is like... So it's what, 7.5% or something? So if I have a 10% upgrade, and that increases by... No, that's bad, man. Because if I get 10% damage from a shrine, right? That's 10% damage. If I increase that 10% by... I should have taken luck rather than proj, but it's okay. Technically we scale a proj with the bow, it's just not great. But I mean, we have an intrinsic luck scaling. It's just luck would have been nice. What was I saying? Don't go away. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I have no clue. I have no clue. It's gone. What is wrong with my head, man? Why? Why can't I remember anything? Charge shine. Oh, 7.5%. I remember now. 4% faster as well. What I was saying was, if we say that the, gem sauce versus the time bracelet, whatever it's called, is both green item slot, they should equal 1-to-1, and yet a charge shrine can offer me 10%. Well, I guess the point I was getting to is it just raises it by like 1%, if even. But if you get more than 10 charge shrines, now it is worth more. So it's kind of like a scaling thing, but also I'd rather just take the freaking damage, man. But yeah, I see it. Because it's not a 1-for-1, right? Like, it's not like you're only getting the use of it one time. It is a persistent effect. Meanwhile, the 10% damage is, you're persistently getting the 10% damage, but it's not affecting future stat gains, right? Like, it is in and of itself secluded. Meanwhile, the other one affects other things. That should be a good enough explanation. Surely you guys got it from there, right? Alright, damage, proj count, damage, proj speed, or crit chance. Probably go with the proj and damage because you really couldn't ask for more in the early game. We're going to keep taking proj count probably until we get to at least 8. I just really hate how proj count interacts with the bow, even though I know we just said it still helps because it just makes it wider. And wider is fine, but I don't know if it can shotgun. If it can shotgun, then that's okay, I guess, especially if it has a finite, like, AoE. Like, if it can only ever have a specific size cone and eventually just getting more arrows makes it fire more within that little area, then that can be really good if it can shotgun. Because now, once you get enough, you can hit an enemy like, I don't know, if you have 50 projectiles, you can hit them 50 times in one shot, which could be really good. I don't know the mechanics of how it works. Increase luck just because we can. Do we want to trade anything here? Honestly, I'm pretty fine with our items, so I don't feel a great need to duplicate anything because I don't necessarily want to lose the damage. I don't want to lose the XP. I don't want to lose the luck. And also, I don't want to lose the burger. I think the burger's good. Burger has saved me in a great many runs. Just being able to have a quick little health, especially if I accidentally get a Kelvin early, which is never a great feeling. Proj count and damage versus pure proj. This is +2 proj. This gives me damage, and the plus proj might not even be useful on that, so that might effectively just be 1 proj versus crit chance. We will get the crit chance, but just not right this second, I think. Probably take the mobility because mobility is good. We have 6 minutes left. Have we actually been making progress doing things on the map, or have I just been talking? Because there's honestly a solid chance that it's just the talking and not so much the doing things. Ooh, extra jump. Always love me some extra jumps, especially because we have the feathers, so it's just a good bit of mobility. We don't have XP tome. We don't have really ways of scaling XP. We also don't really have ways of scaling luck other than levels. But we don't have ways of scaling levels because we can't scale luck. Also, I think, can't scale XP. I think I mentioned, I said something along the lines of, oh, Fox starts with shield. Fox does not start with shield. I think I grabbed shield and didn't realize it. Tony McZoom starts with shield. I think there's some other characters that start with shield, but Fox by default does not start with shield. I think I was a little out of my mind for that one. I won't lie. Honestly, I should be able to grab these difficulty shrines. It might be greedy. It might be the greediest greed that's ever greeded, but I need ways of scaling like XP and stuff. I don't need it, but I want it. I would like it. It would make me very happy, especially because more XP means more luck, because we're the Fox, so by all means. All right, we're going to take this one more time, and now we probably won't take it unless it... Good talk. Good talk. Hey, great talk. We slide there to avoid taking fall damage, and I did see the heart back there. We'll consider going back for it soon. We're going to go ahead and just take a moment, keep enemies away, and let's just open some... Hey, we got the key. Big unlock. I should be breaking more pots as well, probably, because pots will give me silver, and it does seem I'm in desperate need of silver. Probably go for the flat damage. Flat damage is going to be king. I wish I knew what the quote-unquote like attack speed cap was. I don't say quote-unquote in a derogatory way, but rather the attack speed cap I think works like projectile count and attack speed both contribute to it in a sense. Like it's a maximum amount of what your character can do at any given moment, I think, per weapon. How many, like the maximum a single weapon can do its thing. And you know, if you have a million, well, we're gonna use fake numbers of course, but if you have a million attack speed and fire a million projectiles, you're not firing a million times a million. It can't calculate that. So there is a cap of how many projectiles you can do per any given moment, but I don't know what that is. I would love to know. I need to figure that out. That's one thing I love about making videos on this now is I've actually had such good reasons to just go and figure out all this number stuff. One of the things I've really been trying to do is understand kind of every bit of the damage formula. One thing that's really been messing with my head is on the other map, the cemetery, there's like ×2 and halves, right? And I've been trying to figure out, like, for one, if ×2ing crit chance and having crit damage or vice versa ever does anything. And look, the math says it doesn't, and yet I somehow remain unconvinced. By all means, it shouldn't. Now, there is going to be a difference in consistency, right? Because doubling your crit chance probably will feel better if you want to be consistent. But if you want higher peaks and variance, then doubling your damage would feel better than having your crit chance. But I know that crit mult gains value. Crit damage gains value the more crit chance you have, as crit chance kind of starts to lose value. I think it's around 200% crit chance. 1% crit damage outweighs 1% crit chance. So I need to factor, and maybe that's just its own thing, right? And then the doubling crit chance or doubling crit mult plays in. I don't know. I need to do math. I need to figure out the right way to do the math. Frankly, I feel like I've done it a million ways and I've gotten different answers a lot of times because of my own, ineptitude of doing the math, where I will forget, like, I'll accidentally have the added crit damage rather than the full thing, and I'm pretty sure it's a full thing because it should be 2 plus your added crit, and then that's multiplied by your crit chance, because if you have 200% crit, if you have 100% crit chance, you crit for ×2. If you have 200% crit chance, you crit for ×4. So if you have 240% crit chance, you have a guaranteed ×2 crit, or ×4 crit, and then I said 240%, a 40% chance to crit for ×6. So it's like 2 plus 2 plus 2. And then if you had 20% increased crit damage, it'd be 2.2 plus 2.2 plus 2.2. I think. So I get a little lost in the sauce sometimes, but I'm happy to do it. Like, I enjoy doing it genuinely. I think we need flat damage on the bow. The bow's not going to be great unless we get some flat damage. I love having a reason to do nerd math and to talk about nerd things, and I hope you guys don't mind too much. I know it gets a little bit boring, but the one thing I hope more than anything is that, because I will be wrong a lot, I hope to be corrected, and not in a mean way per se. I'm not looking to, be absolutely obliterated, but I would love some explanations on how, like, different mechanics work, because I think, like, a community is the best way to get that info. I feel like so much happens in Discords or in Twitch chats that, like, it's just so impossible for that knowledge to ever spread because of the way it's archived. YouTube comments, not so much. But, like, I just feel like there's so much info out there that people know that there's no real way to find on your own. You kind of have to be told by people who are in the know, and I would love to be in the know of all these little things. The one thing I really don't like that they did in this game, hold up, I'm thinking, probably this, is I can show you the setting, because I'm just so not a fan of it, which is upload score to leaderboards. That being an option is so lame to me. Because you could have people with like 5 different ways of breaking the leaderboards and they just don't want to show it. And it's just insider info, basically. Like, oh, I figured this out and no one's ever going to know because I'm not going to upload my score with 1.8 billion kills to the leaderboard. And that's just my thing. And I'm never going to get the laurels from it. Maybe they nerf one thing, but I have 3 others. And I just keep doing it. It's like, I wish we just knew. And I'm sure like the dev can see or something, which will help with balancing. Because that's another thing. Is like, well, if you can't see what's broken, how's it going to get balance fixed? It's kind of something with GGG and PoE, where Zizaran was talking about how, like, his buddy showed him a build once. He was like, I think this build might be bugged. It's doing a ton of damage, but it doesn't seem like, too abusive. And he showed it to Ziz, and it was on stream, and then GGG fixed it. And then he was like, I have another build that's doing a very similar thing, and is really good, and it's probably a bugged interaction, but it's not like, horribly overpowered. I'm not going to show you, and we'll see if like GGG finds this on their own and fixes it, and they just didn't. It's just because it wasn't put into like to the main hemisphere. I don't know what you would say, but it's like it wasn't put into the main. People didn't know about it, so they just didn't see a reason to fix it, or they weren't aware of it because there wasn't enough attention brought to the issue. And so I hope that doesn't become the case, where it's just like every patch we end up seeing a new broken build that someone had actually, they relies on old mechanics, and it's just you know, a Discord server knew about it, and none of them uploaded their scores using that build, and they just sat on it for a random patch to go live and nerf whatever the current strat is, and they go, it's just so lame to me. I just wish, like, we could see, how cool is it to see someone on the leaderboard? It's like, oh, 1 million kills, 1.5 million kills, 1.8 billion kills. How did they do that? Right? And under the presumption, excuse me, under the presumption it's not hacked, like, that's cool. That should be a thing. It's like the community should, like, see that and be like, how do I do that? That's possible? And it's not hacked? Like, that is a thing that can be done? So I don't like the ability to choose not to upload to leaderboard. It's just so lame to me. I don't know. I don't see the benefit, I guess. I don't see the benefit of the anonymity other than just hiding tech, which I think is lame. I think that I just feel like at this point you should just assume there's always a good, and maybe that's what they want. They just want people to assume there's some crazy giga broken build, but a lot of people won't. A lot of people just be like, oh, the best person has 1.5 million kills. That must be what the very best build can do. Nothing can do better than that. And it's like, it might, man. And it just might be in a random Discord server somewhere. Who knows? Who knows? Can't believe we actually was able to. We were able to kill the boss there. I thought we would struggle a lot more. Probably flat damage. Grab the items, and we got crit chance, gotta love crit chance. I also, and I'm probably wrong, but I feel like I've had 100%, I've definitely had 100% crit chance before, but like, I never really look at the damage. I said it's a guaranteed crit at 100% crit chance, and I think it is, and yeah, I feel like I've seen white numbers appear whenever I have 100% crit, but maybe those were from effects that couldn't crit, because I'm only seeing yellow crits, right? Oh, 64. What's my crit chance? 90. Okay, well, we're not. So, I wonder what I saw or what I thought that I was like, oh yeah, I have a 200% crit, and yeah, I'm still getting white numbers. So I guess crit doesn't actually like true cap. I guess it's like, because this game does weird things where 10% isn't 10%. Because chest, the key has like a 10% chance to make your chest free, but that goes down really quickly. It's is it parabolic? Is that what the term is? Where it's like it starts rapidly and then it reaches a point where now it's like you're getting no bonus and it flattens out, evens out. I don't know. I should have taken the flat damage on the bow because, like I said, this bow will be useless if I don't. It's like the mine. Whenever I was using the mine, like I probably should have tried using it more. The bow doesn't always fire in front, right? Like if I do this, it will fire. Can it fire directly behind me though? Yes, it can. Okay, so it's truly a full auto shot. Crit chanceroo, and we'll go through the portal. Idle juice. We've got the idle juice unlocked. I didn't realize I was standing still. I should have, because I was, but. Yeah, I mean, I guess I just didn't know the unlocks. I thought a lot of these items weren't even unlocked, man. And that's something that is so interesting going back and like kind of seeing, I guess, quote unquote, the new player experience. They need to figure out a meta sync for silver, but I don't want it to be like permanent. I don't like how Vampire Slayers makes it to where, and you have the option to turn it on or off. I think that's so lame for leaderboards to be able to just like infinitely put like silver into a character and make it permanently stronger, because then it's just a matter of like build and skill, and it still will be, but it'd just be who can farm the most silver rather than who can do the most in a sandbox of a run. I think that kind of meta unlock would be so bad for the game. Like, oh, it would be. Because there's like, oh, sure, you played perfectly and this would have been a godsend run, but unfortunately you didn't put in, 700 hours farming silver, so your character was 300 times weaker than this guy's character, and he played much worse in terms of individual skill. But hey, brother, he had the unlock, so you can argue, oh, that's kind of the case with some items, but I think it's so different, man. Unlocking an item, which is like a one-time thing per however many items, there's not an infinite amount of items, versus an infinite character sync. Now, if it's like, a cap of 20 levels and the final level costs, I think I have like around 20,000 silver. If the final level costs 1,000 silver, then it's like, okay, I guess, it still might be a little out of reach for like casual audiences, but at least there's a finite end and it's not literally time sync simulator, right? Because I think that would not be very fun. I think that the investment of time sync should be rewarded in skill, not just in stats. I think you should just be able to get better at the game through playing more, not have the game become basically easier, right? I think that makes sense. Maybe not. Maybe people would disagree with me, but that's a-okay. And if you disagree, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I might disagree with you and make fun of you in the next video, but I'll try not to, because I also should be made fun of. That's maybe not exactly what I know. I'm going to readjust. It might sound like my chair is farting. Oh, that's a back pop. All right. Difficulty or crit damage. Probably take the crit damage just because we have been scaling crit. Damage to elites is I believe, an additive damage multiplier. So let's say I had 10% increased damage to every enemy, and then I have 10% increased damage to elites. That's not 10 times 10%. That is just 10 plus 10. It's an additive that is only being added to elites, I think. Golden Shield's not going to be very useful if we don't have Kevin. And even then, it got nerfed pretty hard. So between Unstable Transfusion, I probably will take Unstable Transfusion just because I would like the damage. It has 35% chance, which means if we get a Magic Lamp, Genie Lamp, whatever it's called, that does roll twice, which as we know should be a 1.5 times % chance. Is that the case? Who knows? Who knows? Because I could be wrong. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I won't actually make fun of you. And if I do, then, call me out for it. I'm human. I make mistakes. Sometimes I interpret something as not being genuine when it is, and I probably genuinely hurt people's feelings. And I don't mean to. Because there's probably been times where someone left a comment, I made a joke about it in the next video, and they felt bad. But I openly, say all the time, like, I make mistakes, and you can make jokes. It's a tough thing to figure out in a sense. I'm thinking about it because it's like there's a level to jokes. Like, we can all make jokes about each other, but it's important to not make it hurtful. Basically, like, you can be like, look at what this guy said versus this guy should end himself. Like, this is the stupidest person I've ever met versus I don't agree with this guy. I think it's a little bit of a silly conclusion to come to. And even then, there's variance in the middle, where I think you'd be like, I think this is a bad take. I think this is flat out wrong. And I think that's okay. But I think whenever you start getting into, like, just attacking the person, it's a very different story. Everyone agree on that? That should be an easy agreement, I think. What are we doing this round, by the way? Our damage is so low again. I don't know. Do I have a lot of gold? I do have a lot of gold. I've not been opening chests. I'm telling you, it's a bad habit. It is a bad habit. I've got to figure out how to kick it. I genuinely we're going to die to the swarm with 4.8 thousand gold because I don't know how to open a chest. I don't have the key. I don't have double jump either. That is not double jump, I believe. I do believe that was just me getting hit while in the air, giving me momentum. We'll grab the health stuff here. We have 43 or 13 seconds because it was 43. I do believe it ends right around after 30 seconds whenever it starts. So at 30 seconds, if not a little bit later. I mean, this is +2 proj effectively right now because we go from +14 to +16 because it can't. Okay, that should work. Assuming we didn't have does decimal on the other one? I guess so. I guess proj count's probably additive. So if I was at 0.2 on something and I grabbed the 0.8, then, or whatever it was, then that would add itself. So that might not be a true +2. It's only a true +2 based on its own projectile count rather than its projectile count plus the item's projectile count. I don't know. My head hurts. My head hurts. This is not sustainable. I can't explain all of this. I don't even know all of this. As I say it, I feel stupider and stupider. I don't even know if stupider is a word. Maybe I'm the stupidest. We're not beating this run. Oh, boy. Probably should have taken the flat damage there, to be honest with you. I probably also ran by 5 chests since I've said I need to start taking chests and not even realized it. It's going to be... It'll take time, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll be the best to have ever done it, boys. We will. We will. Truly, I mean it. Maybe. I don't, but who knows, right? Look, if Megabonk stays alive, I don't plan to stop making videos on it. This is like my favorite game of this time. I'm not gonna say I'd rather play this than Call of Zombies because that's not always necessarily the case in every instance. But if you asked me what I'd rather play and record, it would be this right now. But that's part of the side channel. And this is not going to be the only game on the side channel. That much I can swear to you. For one, we already got other games on the side channel. See? Easy. Easy. Proj count or crit chance. Probably just keep scaling crit chance. Crit is nice because you have the overcrit mechanic. We already have some shield. So I'd honestly rather not grab more. I'll grab some evasion. I wish I knew the evasion formula. I'd be very intrigued to know like the invasion and armor formulas. I'm sure they are documented somewhere. I went on 2 wikis to figure out the aura thing because I knew I wanted to start with using Mega Chad. So I want to see exactly like I wanted to make sure that aura did scale with like attack speed, right? And one of the wikis was not very useful or helpful, and the other one was. The other one was very concise and clear on what it said. I can't remember the names of them, and it might have just been me using one of them wrong, because it did say what it scaled with, but it didn't say it in like a way that I would have liked it presented. Like, it was like, good options for this include attack speed, defenses, which for one, you can't scale a weapon's damage through defenses unless you're doing like spiky shield or maybe Athena. Like, that's not how that works. And then it had like the other stats, and in my head I'm just like, it can scale with, it scales good with, but what about, does it scale with other things? Like, it wasn't clear and concise. And the other one was like, this is what it scales with, these things. And it felt very like, oh, these things and these things only, got it. But it didn't say crit, which is why I wish I'd paid attention to see whether it can crit or not, because I would love to know. It reminds me of a Righteous Fire in League of Legumes. I did not just say Righteous Fire in League of Legends. What is wrong with my brain, dude? I am fried. I'm cooked. I did not just say Righteous Fire is in League of Legends. Bro, I'm playing with a Moo toggle on. Oh, or Karthus. My brain. I have got to, like... I don't know. I do not know. We're not. It's so over. This run is so over. Oh, the banana is actually a weapon. I didn't realize I was even throwing it. I was like, my brain wasn't even processing the game. I didn't even realize I was throwing the freaking banana, dude. It's on my screen. It's in front of my eyes. And my brain didn't even process it. What a nightmare. I feel like I got a boulder rolling after me. The goblins are towering over me. It's a nightmare. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's how she goes sometimes, ain't it, though? Proj count or crit chance? Probably crit chance, right? I don't know. This might be better. We have a lot of Proj count, though, and I feel like I just love to crit and get more and more damage, but this is... I don't know mathematically what is better here. I'm gonna take the red one. I'll pick the higher rarity one, I guess. I don't know. Like, it frustrates me whenever I don't know. I saw something crit for 1.2 thousand though, which is nice to see. If we could just do that more. Also, I'll tell you, if we had a different weapon other than this stupid arrow, man, what a world we'd live in. And I might be getting screwed by like having like, targeting on closest enemy with 0.8 ratio or whatever, because I feel like if I had smart aim, then it would be attacking behind me more, because it probably tries to attack whatever the most possible things it can attack is. But I don't know exactly how it works. How's our boss damage? Ooh. That's not great. I mean, crit damage, that's a useful stat. We've not opened chest. What a fool I am. What a foolish fool. Also, I know we have 1:44 seconds. I don't even know if I've seen where the boss altar is. We have a red arrow, so presumably we have. We need to open chest. It's crazy how I keep saying we need to open chest and I don't open the chest. It's insanity. And the craziest part, guys, I'm on Adderall right now. Like, I take medication for my ADHD. This is insane. This is insane. Now, they did swap my generic. I will say it's felt much less effective since then. Not a huge fan of the CVS generic, admittedly. Another one of these. I don't want spiky shield. I know credit card is a default unlock. I know it is. Okay? Okay, bucko. See, it's not credit card because we can see the credit card. It's freaking... I thought it was ring. I didn't see the ring either. I don't even know if ring's unlocked by default. I don't... I need to open chest. Oh, it's a nightmare. Alright, let's keep opening things. How much gold do we have? Oh, not even enough to keep opening them. Magnificent. Well, let's go. Oh, the boss is on the other side of the map. Do we have double jump? Oh, we have double jump. I've been even playing with double jump this whole time. What's wrong with me? Alright, we'll do a little bit of movement, shall we? Grab some momentum. Oh, no. That's a big hole. We'll just schmoove on over. How does that sound? Oh, look, the bosses are going to be near each other. Probably this. Flat damage is... honestly, Fireball is worth, like, all of our damage. I need to remember to actually show at the end the DPS stats, and I can talk about those for a second, because I do think it'd be interesting to show. And also, like, if the run placement leaderboard, because I'm supposed to add in how the last one was, like, 69% or whatever. Is a stupid little, 69. 6-7. Come on, guys. You think we're gonna get it? Take your bets. Take your bets right now. Gamba, ring, 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 ring. Ding, ding, ding. What sounds a bell make? Bell, 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 bell. Do, gong, 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 gong. There we go. That's it. A gong. Oh my god. Wait, do gong. What does... I wouldn't say a gong makes a gong sound though. Would you? Is a... What's the... Is it an onomatopoeia? I don't think it's an onomatopoeia. Is that the word I'm looking for? Pop? Because pop goes pop. Although it doesn't really, like, it's like, rather, you probably couldn't hear that. But it's like, pop isn't pop, but it's kind of like pop, right? Is gong an onomatopoeia? Gong, do, gong, 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 gong. I don't know. Maybe him skill issue. Definitely him skill issue. New record, top 33%, guys. Just in this round, top 1/3 of players in the world. Yeah, hey. That's me. I'm that guy. Mirror, thorns, whatever. Bloodmark. Poison did more than Bloodmark. How many cheats? We only had one cheats. Bloodmark's kind of bad then, no? Maybe it's just because we had it longer? I don't know. But DPS shouldn't be affected by that. Banana Ring, way better than both, dude. Both so, but... Fire Staff also is just not great. I mean, level 1 Banana Ring did so much better. But we also, like... I don't know. I don't feel like these were that bad. I feel like we got so scared by this. This damage is fine. This damage is fine. This damage is so atrocious. It's like, oh, yeah, double the levels. Yeah, but that wouldn't have made the difference, I don't think. I don't think it would have. It's just fundamentally bad because of the way like it works. I don't know. I don't like it. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me coping. Who knows? But guys, that's video number 2. I probably would just beat the second boss off camera. Just because it'd be fun actually getting like the full game, right? Get a little bit of silver, so we'll probably do that. Actually get into the full game of Stage 3 stuff. Maybe we'll do one more video where I try to beat the second boss just normally. We'll probably will. One more video with it, but then at the end of that one we will. So yeah, something like that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. FS7, yeah, have a good one, everybody. Take it easy. Okay, we're gonna re-explain Lucky. Don't ignore why I'm on Eraser. Surely I didn't mess this up already. So, it was bothering me because I did explain it wrong, and it's important to me to, if I'm trying to educate, I should at least try to educate correctly, right? So, and you have to ignore my handwriting here. It's gonna be pretty illegible. Illegible, that's the right word, right? Because I'm left-handed and obviously use a mouse with a right hand, so it's not gonna be very pretty. But the way I explained it was, you know, we have 2 coins. Each one can give... This is not the right tool. You're the right tool. Okay. But now I have Z. Oh. All right. We have H or T basically. And we have H or T. And that can result in H, 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 T, T, H, or T, T. It is like a Punnett square. If you've ever done Punnett square, right? You can basically like go... bum, 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 and then, you know, H, 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 T, T, H. And again, I know this is just a nightmare, but it's okay. And I was like, oh, 75%, you know, wahoo, times 1.5. That's not how it works, all right? So we're going to bring out the big eraser. And the way this actually works, so let's take that 4 out of 20 I gave, and I was like, oh, so that should be like, what, around 6 out of 20? So 4 out of 20, let's simplify that first. It's going to be, well, what is that? 1 out of 5, right? So 1/5. Why am I back on the pencil? 1/5. All right, so 1/5. But in reality, we don't actually care about the 1/5. What we care about is the 4 out of 5 number. So this is the odds of it not happening. So what we do is, because we're lucky, we are going to take that again. All right. And that equals 16 over 25. This is the odds of it not happening if we do it twice, if we're lucky, right? Then we can just take 1 minus that, because these are the odds of it not happening, so we need the odds of it happening. 1 is always a fraction over itself, so we've got 25 over 25 minus 16 over 25, and that's going to leave us with 9 over 25. So I can pull out the nifty calculator that you cannot see, and I can do 9 divided by 25, and that equals 0.3. I'm sorry, that's a nightmare. What is that? It's like a cursive Z into what's supposed to be a 3, and then my 3 became a 5. Like, you cut this off, that's a 5, brother. All right. equals 0.36. Or of course, we know 36%. So if we have a 1 out of 5 chance we want to do something, normally that is 20%, which is what right up here is, right? 1/5? Yeah. 1/5, sorry. We have 20%, and then if we, did times 1.5, which I don't even know if you can do the math this way, but we're going to, that's, 0, 0, 1 plus 0, 0, 2, and boom, bada bing, we're at 30%. I wanted to show you I could do math, even though I could have done this in my head, which I could have. But that's actually worse. So we have better than 1.5 times odds. This is a pretty great number. So that should show you how good the genie lamp or whatever it's called really is. Also, lucky in any game is just super good. Now, PoE does do it a little bit differently, I think. Not different. It's just you have damage ranges, right? And this is going into just some more nerdy stuff. But like Lucky's really good with lightning. I can explain why. So whenever PoE does damage, usually they do something like you'll have, I did it again. You have like fire, and fire will deal, we'll just say, I don't know, 40 to 60 damage, okay? And this is approximately 50 DPS. So we can do 50 DPS. Then we have cold, and we'll say cold does about what fire does. And I know that looks like a 9, but just bear with me. So 40 to 60, and on average, that's going to be 50 DPS, right? Lightning is a little different. So they want lightning to be erratic. Fire is kind of supposed to be like ignite, dot, burn, like more damage in a sense, in that way. Cold's supposed to kind of be able to be a defensive layer because they have frost, they have like chill and freeze. But lightning is meant to be erratic. So lightning, rather than being 40 to 60, I'll give you a hint here, it does equal out to 50 DPS. But whenever we are doing this, it's actually going to be like 20 through 80. And it might even be closer to like 10 through 90. So you can roll really low, but you can also roll really high, but this still averages out. We can do plus divided by 2, plus divided by 2, plus divided by 2, plus divided by 2 to find the mean. And we end up with 50 DPS. Now, whenever you are doing this, basically, if you roll lucky, you're going to have better chances of dealing more damage here. Now, I don't actually know how to math this out, but like, let's say we want to hit top 10% damage. So that's a 1 out of 10, right? So we want to deal 10, our dream is like 10%, whatever. Like we want to deal in the top 10 percentile, I guess. So 9 out of 10 times 9 out of 10. In reality, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter, to be honest, because this is, 81 out of whatever. But it doesn't matter, because what matters is the top 10% of this is much higher, right, than these two. Because with lucky, we're going to be in the top percentage more often, and that's where here is just going to be better. Lightning, because it has a higher variance, likes lucky more. I think that's about all I have to say on it. I hope that makes sense, because that's all the dice roll is, and I don't know if Genie Pots stack. If they do, that might be insanely powerful. But it's just you get 2 dice. It's advantage, as you might know it, or it's like, I'm sorry, I'm drawing dice now, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. Lucky, I mean, there's so many different ways to word it, but it is not, if you have 0.2% chance, like if you have 20% chance to inflict lightning, it is not then just adding a 1 to it, and it's like it's crit now. It's like, oh, you guarantee freeze, and then you have a 20% chance to super freeze. No. It's just you roll that 20% twice. Does that make sense? All right. I hope you guys enjoy this thing. I might do this more if I have more corrections to make. I'll add a footnote in the video to watch this, and if this is just boring, then my bad. But I think it's always good to learn. It helps me learn, because I don't know why. I'll ramble a little bit. In that video, I was so tired. And like my brain just was so scatterbrained. I feel much better now, and I'm not as scatterbrained, but I don't know why. It happens sometimes, but not always. I need to figure out what causes that lethargy. I've also had coffee since then, so who knows, maybe that helped. But this made sense. But it's beneficial to understanding. And, if anyone has questions about how math works in Megabonk, let me know, and I'd try to work it out. And of course, if I'm wrong, then please correct me, because I want to learn. And I hope all of you guys want to learn. And with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, oh, that fun stuff. Have a good one, everybody. Take it easy.